Some media outlets will try to find any which way to take a jab at both Donald Trump and Russia in one fell swoop. Here's the latest example.
President Trump has repeatedly assailed conditions in Baltimore. He's not once mentioned the brutal police crackdown in Moscow, where 1,400 peaceful protesters have been arrested.
That isn't just some random journalist sharing his opinion on Twitter, though. It's CNN's chief national security correspondent, Jim Sciutto. And his tweet? A response to Donald Trump's comments on the city of Baltimore. But if you're wondering what on earth Trump's statements about Baltimore have to do with Moscow, you're not alone.
Weird. It's almost as if one of those is a city in the US and the other is not.
Break-in. US president apparently more concerned with US city than Russian city.
Note also, Putin hasn't said a word about the conditions in Baltimore. I mean, what the hell is going on here?
He also didn't mention that my birthday was coming up. Racist.
CNN covered every twist and turn of the Trump-Russia investigation. Why? One of CNN's supervising producers was caught admitting the ratings are more important than the evidence.
Then why is CNN constantly like, Russia this, Russia that?
Because it's ratings.
Because it's ratings?
Our ratings are incredible right now.
There's just one small problem, though. CNN's viewership actually took a dive, and the station wasn't alone in the frenzy. Even former mainstream media personalities are saying things have gone too far.
For months, MSNBC built segment after segment, show after show on building anticipation for a big reveal when we would learn the true depths of Trump's fealty and direct conspiracy with Putin. Russia conspiracy was great for ratings among the key demographic of empty nesters on the coast with too much time on their hands. Consider this whole setup has done more damage to the Democrats' chances of winning back the White House than anything.
Differences in political opinion or just bad chemistry. Who knows what's behind the mudslinging between Trump and CNN?
Being president isn't fun anymore. It's likely a welcome break from having to do the other stuff, like acting like a grown-up and, governing.
No, not you. Not you. Your organization's terrible.
When that is really the whole point, Trump being Trump. What comes out of his mouth is a reflection of who he is.
CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them.
My sense of it is, covering him for a pretty long period of time now, is that he's more crazy like a fox.
Can you give us a question? Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. Can you stay categorical? You are fake news.
So name-calling and Russia bashing in the political arena rages on. But what about those issues that affect everyday Americans, like health care and the environment? Many residents of Flint, Michigan are still drinking water carried by pipes containing lead. Polls have found that over half of Americans refused or delayed medical treatment they couldn't afford in 2018. So while Americans face hurdles to have basic amenities, here's a Twitter battle over who's not doing their job properly and a protest on the other side of the world.
When you work for, let's say, CNN or whatever, and you have literally and actually nothing to do but to attack Trump and Russia while you're at it. Does it surprise anybody? Does it surprise anybody that they went from Baltimore to, well, why aren't you talking about Russia? Well, because we're not. How many times must there be no Russian connection or collusion before they finally say, I think it's time to back off? We just had the Mueller hearing, that debacle, that horrible, as somebody called it here, elder abuse last week. That again dispelled, dismissed, ruined, dismissed, negated any chance of Russian collusion. That was the finding of the report, that was the finding of the Post. And still, even in a discussion about Baltimore and rats and vermin and rodents and squalor, even then, somebody must be getting a $5 bonus to somehow work Russia into it. I'm baffled, and I'm rarely baffled.